For those unaware of what has transpired recently, a person named Fusa accused Masuda, the producer for Pokemon Sword and Shield, of various grotesque and explicit sexual deviances. The claims were comically bogus and were disregarded almost immediately by anyone who read them. The Twitlonger account was banned, and even though Fusa is a sick and depraved human being, that should have been the end of it. Or so you would think. In an obvious attempt at maliciously targeting the National Dex movement, Fusa plugged the hashtag #BringBackNationalDex right under their blatantly fictitious accusations. And now people are somehow convinced that the entire Pokemon fanbase as a collective are as sick and depraved as Fusa. The people convinced that Fusa is a Pokemon fan who was so disturbed by the lack of a National Dex that they had the brilliant idea to slander Masuda are as dense, naive, and gullible as the people who actually believed in Fusa's depraved fiction to begin with. Treating Fusa as anything other than a desperate and sick individual means Fusa successfully deceived you. If you think about this logically, Fusa's intentions become transparent. Fusa could have just as easily made up a story about Donald Trump and then plugged in hashtag #NotMyPresident. The obscene lack of credibility in Fusa's words would be the same. Fusa would be condemned and then completely ignored. Yet people, for some reason, are eating this up, and they actually believe Fusa did all of this as a result of some missing Pokemon in Sword and Shield. Come on, you guys. Think. Obviously, the true intentions behind the stunt are more insidious in nature. Fusa had two objectives in mind: to take shots at Masuda, which failed miserably, and to tarnish the integrity of the National Dex movement in a false flag attack. A genuine person who truly wanted the return of the National Dex wouldn't resort to such depravity. Only a random Joe off the streets with no consideration for the well-being of Pokemon, or someone opposed to those being critical about Pokemon Sword and Shield, would sink low enough to attempt something as shallow as this. Fusa succeeded in one of their objectives: to defame the National Dex movement, and to convince dense, naive, and gullible people that Fusa is somehow credible enough to be perceived as a legitimate Pokemon fan. They're literally just using the situation to shame the dude because he won't give them what they want because they're cutting some Pokemon from the game. This person truly believes that a Pokemon fan went out of their way to produce an extremely unconvincing piece of depraved fiction in order to bring back cut Pokemon, knowing full well doing something like that would have the inverse effect due to the obvious backlash. But they continue. They accuse him of rape, then follow up with hashtag #BringBackTheNationalDex. Yes, because that statement alone doesn't strike you as completely odd or suspicious in any way. It's the same thing if someone accuses someone of rape and then immediately plugs their Twitter handle right after. Obviously, the person has a hidden agenda that is ironically clear as day. This pitiful fan base reached the point where they are making fake accounts and accusing Masuda of crimes. This guy is holding the entire Pokemon fanbase accountable for one random person's clearly malicious intentions that should be immediately disregarded, condemned, and then forgotten. Instead, he took the bait and believes in the fictitious narrative that Fusa laid out for him. I hope they never put back the National Dex ever again after this. Wiping National Dex from history. It's time. This is exactly what Fusa wanted, to turn the love people have for the National Dex into hatred. Nothing with regards to Fusa is credible. Everything and anything that person has said is a fabrication, including the illusion that Fusa is somehow concerned with the exclusion of Pokemon from a game. Fusa is a liar, Fusa was not sexually assaulted, and Fusa doesn't care about the National Dex, or even Pokemon for that matter. If you think otherwise, Fusa has succeeded in deceiving you. Fusa is not associated with Pokemon or its fandom in any way except for attempting to slander Masuda, the National Dex movement, and the Pokemon fanbase as a whole. I hope this video clears up any misconceptions with regards to the situation. Sexual assault is obviously not okay, but stating false accusations of sexual assault is just as bad. Just don't do either of these two things and you'll get pretty far in life. Thanks for watching, you guys.